Well, I've got something we can talk about.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Do you guys watch Silicon Valley? I know you do, Jace.
I've seen the last season. Actually,
Oh, really? I thought you were like a big fan.
well, I've seen all of it, including what I meant with the last season. No, seen the last. It's not the kind of show you can just watch one season, right? You've got to like.
I've only watched one season.
But was it the first season?
Yeah.
Then that makes sense. But I couldn't have just watched the last season.
Yeah.
I've also only watched one season.
Yeah.
Was it the first season?
It was.
Exactly. Also, I wouldn't say
It was
I'm a
actually
big
half
fan.
of one season and then half of another season.
Yeah, it was actually one from the start of every season. There are 21 seasons, right? No. I actually, while I've watched every episode, and I always like to know what happens, I got to say, at the moment, I'm not the biggest fan because it just feels like there's always just the same cycle of never-ending fuck-ups, never-ending resolution. Like, it just feels like they're not really getting anywhere. So I don't love it, to be honest.
I feel like there's some heavy spoilers thrown out there.
Me saying that there's resolutions.
Yeah, there's people that are just fucking up and they can't have
beginning, conflict, resolution, and ending.
Yeah.
Dude. But anyway, they featured Coinbase in the intro now.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw
So
that.
you know how there's like a cartoon Silicon Valley with like Facebook and Google, and now there's Coinbase.
Yeah, and the music's like... Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Also, they put a Facebook thing in because the recent data breaches. They put like a Facebook thing where the logo goes all creepy.
Russian. Yeah.
Oh, is it Russian?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's the
I
whole
didn't
thing.
get
It was like the Russian. Do you not know about that thing?
I didn't know the Russians. No.
Okay, so there was like a Russian troll organization that during the election time they like inundated Facebook with like quack ads to try and influence the election.
Quack ads like for ducks.
So it was just like fake ads kind of thing. So like one of them was like Aziz Ansari was holding a sign and it said, "Oh, save time and don't go to the voting booth. Just tweet who you want. Hashtag presidential election and vote digitally." Just like stuff like
Vote
that.
digitally.
Yeah.
But just search the hashtag. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is.
And there was another one of like Jesus, what's it called? Arm wrestling Hillary Clinton, who was like mocked up as Satan. And it's like, vote for Jesus. You know what to do, Texas. It was just,
What?
Yeah,
That
it was
sounds
like
it could be a legit
it was
thing.
like kind of satirical, but it was also like claims that they are actually trying to influence the election.
I feel like the crypto enthusiasts are going to somehow turn the vote digitally into a good case for the next political coin or the next voting coin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the idea of decentralized voting because a lot of people traditionally were like, "Nah, it's too dangerous, it's too messy, putting it all on the internet." But I think with blockchain and with privacy coins, you can definitely do it. I think it's doable. And just imagine the money and human effort you would save. Like currently, it's so much effort for everyone in the world to like put themselves in the same place to organize the ballots and shit.
I know, and that's the most trusted way to do it, apparently.
Yeah.
So-
No, yeah. Well, that's what I thought before, like blockchain. But now that I've looked into like privacy coins where you can like communicate information privately and prove that it's genuine without anyone knowing what it is, like that. The proof's in the maths, man. I trust maths, and the maths is there. So I reckon we can do it. Go Horizon State, the coin.
But why did that when you can just tweet hashtag presidential election?
What?
That was the Russian thing.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said, why go to all that blockchain effort when you can just tweet like vote Hillary, hashtag presidential election. Anyway, this is the Coin Straight Times podcast. It is the 27th of March, 2018, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Joe, Jace, and Ollie here with a special
It's 200 degrees north and
special guest today, Nathan.
Hi, everyone. I don't know what I'm doing here or how I got roped into this, but I'm loving every moment.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So Nathan, what's your background in crypto? Where did you get your crypto expertise?
I was like many people, and I trusted an office colleague. He recommended that Ethereum would be a good investment. So I, of course, went out and did zero due diligence and saw that, I don't know, Vitalik looked like he knew what he was doing and thought, hey, I'm going to pop some money straight into this digital asset that has no tangibility whatsoever. So Ethereum was my first buy, even before Bitcoin, which I think would not be the convention.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys first buy of coins?
You can ask me, but I'm going to be very secretive and elusive about any topic relating to this. Well, Bitcoin, right? I think everyone. I don't know if everyone buys
I was
Bitcoin.
Ripple.
Oh, okay.
I was
Ripple.
Bitcoin, but now I'm all into the alts and not at all into Bitcoin.
Look at us 4 guys talking about losing our crypto virginities.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're losing all our money.
It was
Yeah.
it was prom night.
Yeah. Gosh, she looked beautiful that day. What's happened? Look at her now.
Oh man. So Nathan, we have to ask all our guests. Were you the founder of BitConnect? We're trying to crack the case here.
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
Unfortunately not. I would be definitely not talking on this podcast right now, which is widely publicized, I imagine.
That's true.
I would probably die tonight on my walk home if I was the founder.
Right.
Why are you winking at me so heavily?
No.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Carlos Matos is the head of BitConnect. So the fact you think he's the head makes me think you're innocent. You're good because you thought he was the head of BitConnect.
Excellent.
Is
I kind of just wanted an excuse to go, hey.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is his safety in danger? Or like
Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's he doing?
I think he's too lovable. Even like he's crazy, but I think he's too like goofy.
There's got to be a point, right?
Can you imagine someone trying to kill him and he's just like, "What's up? What's up?" I was like, I can't do this. You know. I don't even think he understands the gravity of the situation. I'm holding a knife to his neck.
It's funny you say that. I think he actually, he has a YouTube channel, right?
I think he's still.
He released a video not long ago. It might have been about a couple of weeks now. And it looks like, and I'm not sure whether to believe this, but it looks like he was a victim of the scam as well. Which is pretty amazing.
I believe that because of all the stuff he said about his wife being like, my wife's so stupid. She thinks it's a scam. She keeps telling me it's a scam. I feel like if you knew it was a scam, you wouldn't just keep saying how people you love kept telling you it's a scam.
I know. And he's a really genuine guy. Well, he seems like that. He seems like that.
He's either like an Oscar award winning or deserving actor, or he's just completely transparent.
Delusional. No, I think he's the lovable fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carlos.
Scams
if you want to come on the
those
podcast and tell us why you're not, that's fine. We'll take another guest. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show, Nath.
You're welcome.
Cool. How's the markets going, guys?
Awful.
Yeah, not great.
Well, today's been pretty awful.
Was it just today?
I think mainly today, yeah.
I don't even look anymore. I just cry myself to sleep every night.
I have a theory of what might be the reason, but I won't say it in case it overlaps with something we might talk about later. But when it happens, when it happens, I'll be like, hey. No, well, I'll mention it then.
Just a little teaser.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's what I'm saying is I think there might be one event which is kind of shaking the market a bit.
So now there's like pressure on me to make sure I know that news.
No, yeah, you're right. Actually, there's pressure on you to make sure you bring it. I think you'll bring it up. I think it's one of the bigger things that happened this week.
Okay.
We'll remind you at the end. Otherwise,
yeah,
All
good.
right. So the first piece of news I have is Binance is potentially moving to Malta.
That's good news. That's not it.
And that's not it. Okay.
That's great. That's great. No, let's not go through the news. Just trying to work out what it is. That's great news.
Okay.
That's really good.
Malta's a shithole and no one wants to go.
Yeah.
I think they're moving their entire team and they're going to get like 200 new employees. And Malta, the Maltese government want to be very crypto friendly and they want to call themselves like the blockchain island.
What's the weather like in Malta? That's what I want.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
But like nice, like hot, nice, like beach.
It's like a Mediterranean island.
Yeah.
That sounds like somewhere you would go
Closer
to
to
live.
Northern Africa than it is Europe. So it's kind of like
Okay.
hot.
CZ
okay.
is going to be on the beach with a lot of bikini clad women.
That's what I was trying to
Just
work out.
looking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so what I would want to work out is whether or not this was like an intentional move by Binance or whether it was in response to the Japanese crackdown that I heard so much about. I assume that the Japanese crackdown, and I don't actually know the details of what Japan did, but that might have spurred them to move to Malta. That's what it seemed like, at least, because it happened all in the space of 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think there's actually like another piece of news that I want to talk about that also kind of leads into what you're saying. But I think a lot of Japanese, Chinese, and South Korean crypto companies might be looking to go overseas unless the government responds.
Yeah. It's kind of like a, what's it called? Ultimatum, where it's like, if you don't fix it, I'm leaving. Yeah. I think that's probably going to be successful because I think a lot of countries care about having huge, like $1 billion businesses in their country.
Right.
So I think it's definitely going to be effective.
Absolutely. And so many countries don't know what they want to do with crypto yet. Like, they don't fully understand it.
Yeah. No idea.
I mean, like, can anyone say they fully understand it? John Oliver put it really well. He said, everything you don't know about finance combined with everything you don't know about technology.
Right.
Which is so true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I tell you what, I get why you think that, but I get it.
And so Binance is actually going to add USD deposits and trading pairs, which makes sense that this announcement comes after the Malta news because, there's so much legislation involved in adding fiat to crypto pairings. So that's another addition to that news as well.
Yeah, I think that would be huge if they can just like circumvent the way people are normally getting into crypto, which is like through Coinbase or something,
right?
And going straight to them. I think they, the next Google guys, watch out.
Yeah, I was going to say Silicon Valley might have jumped the shark with putting Coinbase.
Yeah,
because they might be very irrelevant soon.
They're going to look so outdated.
Do you reckon they got a little bit of Muller on the side there? Like Silicon Valley got paid by Coinbase? Or
wow.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm just speculating, of course.
They actually paid to license the Coinbase brand. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. Like the rest of the Silicon Valley intro is just big, tech companies.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have been paying off Silicon Valley. Like they don't really care, surely.
I think it's just their way of saying, look, we're caught up with 2018.
Yeah.
We understand that crypto's a thing and that's kind of related to tech in Silicon Valley, so we're going to put it in here. I feel like that's the reason.
Agreed.
Well, even in Silicon Valley, apparently there's a lot of Bitcoin jokes, and apparently they filmed in 2013.
2013 is when Bitcoin was like also big, I think. Remember there was like different spikes? I feel like 2013 was like
was that pre-Mt. Gox?
yeah.
Mt. Gox was 2014.
Yeah.
Early 2014.
Yeah. So I feel like that was just like this on a smaller scale.
Right.
I feel like, yeah. So that makes sense.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And the other thing involved with this piece of news is, the whole US deposits thing is showing that Binance is kind of moving away from Tether in a way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Which would be a huge good move as well.
And Bittrex also is now trading with True USD, which is another stable coin. So they're also moving away from Tether. So I'm not sure if they know something that we don't know, but like I know everyone's kind of sus on Tether, but it looks like some big trading platforms are moving away from Tether.
I could believe it's just because of the, worrisome press, but I guess it could be they know that like they went into the Tether warehouse and saw it was empty and were like, well, fuck. I don't know. No, I think it's probably just trying to get away from the controversy.
I mean, the biggest speculative FUD right now is definitely got to be Tether. Still, I think like so many people are in a state of uncertainty surrounding Tether. So it would make sense if they, if they value user trust, which a lot of exchanges do. Obviously, Binance does with their regular updates from the CEO.
Yeah.
Then they're going to look to switch to a different stablecoin. Makes a lot of sense to me.
And there's a lot of like competitors coming out. I think it's kind of like how Bitcoin was Bitcoin and then just the market got flooded with cryptos. Like, and it's still kind of increasing in speed. I guess ICOs have kind of been curbed, but like the rate of creation of cryptos is huge. I think the same thing with stable coins is going to happen this year. Just more and more people trying to become the stable coin because it's still just a huge lucrative market.
Absolutely. So going on from what Nathan said earlier, there's a South Korean company called Kakao, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. And they're massive.
Probably not.
Yeah, good chance I'm not. It's spelled JQ. No. So they're an internet and app conglomerate. And so 90% of messaging, payments, social media, stock brokering is all done on this app and websites in South Korea, apparently.
Right.
And they're looking to move overseas with their blockchain ventures because they're worried about regulation. And the South Korean government has responded by trying to be like, no, we actually are crypto friendly. And, we might reintroduce ICOs and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I think Nathan hit it on the head earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'd be the same thing. Just wanted to keep them in the country. Also, weren't South Korea the ones that kept flip-flopping, kind of saying, we might regulate, we might. And then people got busted for insider trading. I feel
there was so much FUD around South Korean regulation. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just kind of flip-flopping again. Just saying, don't worry, it's great, we love it. And then actually not.
Like they might be using flip-flopping as a tactic to buy time. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on these governments to make a short decision when they've got to, weigh up. We don't want to stifle innovation, but at the same time, we want to make sure there's no, nefarious activities taking place on the blockchain. So, how do you balance those two and make a quick decision?
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
And we don't want our financial systems to be just brought to its knees either.
Bunch of angry central bankers on our back.
Yeah.
Making sure we don't make
it's a complete shit show.
Yeah. I agree with you in general, but I feel like in South Korea's case, like I agree that it's hard to balance those things and like come up with a quick solution, but at the same time, they kind of haven't really been finding a solution. They've kind of just been saying, oh, we're going to crack down real hard, too hard. Just kidding. Oh, we're going to crack down too hard again. Just kidding. So I feel like that's probably more the insider trading thing. If I were to, I didn't tell you this is actually a conspiracy podcast. Secretly, this is a conspiracy podcast. But
Oh boy.
that's my theory.
Okay.
South Korean
What have I
government.
walked into?
South Korean government. Oh, the next question.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So this has got to be the most bizarre piece of news I've come across in crypto for a while. And it's Pablo Escobar's brother, Roberto, has launched his own ICO called DietBitcoin. And this project makes, what's that really dodgy one? The Petro. Look like-
Venezuelan coin.
Yeah, look like, I don't know,
Bitcoin.
gold.
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
gold.
Yeah.
Not even Bitcoin, gold.
Yeah.
So there's so many red flags with this project. So firstly, it's run by Roberto Escobar, who's like a criminal. He served 11 years in prison for being the accountant for the like drug cartel or whatever.
Ooh, accountant's got finance experience.
Yep.
I'm interested in that.
You'd hire him.
I think you got the wrong point of that sentence, mate. So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is pre-ICO sales are at a 99.8% discount.
They know how to drive a bargain.
Oh my goodness.
So
Music to my ears.
Get in now.
that's like if you're going to say they're worth that much more, but you're going to sell them for like $2 when they're worth like thousands of dollars. That's like super
Yeah.
dodgy.
Can you imagine buying? So everyone else bought them for like $1, and you're like, I'll
Yeah.
pay $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Like,
So obviously
Look
they're
at
trying
the
to make
market cap, bro.
yeah,
they're trying to get the money in pre-ICO and then probably flake out after that is my guess.
it's almost so crazy that part of me would think it's too obvious. No one in their right mind would do something that obviously stupid. It's almost like,
Well, let me go on, Jack.
Okay.
It gets worse.
all right.
So their website uses bulk of the source code from bitcoin.org.
Okay.
So that's red flag number 3.
Mm-hmm.
It gets worse. So Roberto Escobar also released a book called Pablo Escobar's Diet Bitcoin. So that's the name of the crypto.
Did you say book?
Yeah, he released a book as well.
I'm all
Called
about.
Pablo Escobar's Diet Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think went on like the memoirs or something.
I think we should do a live reading for the next podcast.
We should.
Yeah.
So most of the book's about Pablo Escobar's life, but there is a chapter on cryptocurrency and his vision for Diet Bitcoin.
Jesus.
How do those connect?
Yeah.
Where's the segue between those two?
Well, this is how it connects, and this is where it gets kind of crazy. Roberto Escobar says he's met the guy who's under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto.
Right. He's met him.
Right. And to prove this, he's got an image in his book of a photocopy of his passport.
Of Satoshi Nakamoto's
Yeah.
passport.
So a few things wrong with that. So firstly,
yeah. It's a pseudonym.
Yeah. So firstly, it's a fucking pseudonym.
So he wouldn't be on
a
his passport.
government document. It's not going to have the pseudonym's name.
Second, why does he have his passport?
Secondly,
Yeah.
why the fuck? Who's going to be like, oh, do I mind if I photocopy your passport? Yeah, sure.
For your Diet Bitcoin? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Love the show.
And number 3, if anyone knows even a
Big
slight
fan
bit
of your
of
brother.
yeah.
slight bit of Photoshop, you can make that in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah. I'd love if there's like a watermark in the corner, like makeyourfreepassport.com.
Yeah. So that was supposed to be in there for proof that he's met Satoshi. So take that as you will. And yeah, so he goes on to say Satoshi was an agent working for the US government and Bitcoin was a CIA plot.
To do what?
I don't know, dude. So
Oh, man.
I would advise you not to invest at this stage.
I think he's not the only person that's made that claim that cryptocurrency is a government. There's always going to be like
Right.
some group of people that say it, right? Yeah, they're going to rise the market up and then they're going to crash it to the ground to prove that we can never trust anything decentralized.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
the narrative.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to my conspiracy mind. Now I'm interested.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't think that's what's happened. But with the futures market, it's practically the same thing, where basically people are just trying to pump and dump.
In a manipulated market, definitely.
Yeah.
Which this is.
Yeah, this
So-
is not regulated at all, so it's going to happen anyway. But yeah, I guess also there's no world government, and Bitcoin is very much not. It's not like one country owns all the Bitcoin. Like it's
Yeah.
very hard to imagine. Even if there was a conspiracy, one government was trying to mess with it. They're just a person competing like any other big company. Like maybe Apple has more Bitcoin than like I don't know
Yeah.
the
There's
Vietnamese government.
no real way of knowing which companies and which, people, really individuals are holding it. I read just today, I only read the headline because that's what I do with the news. But
Join the club.
Sorry?
Join the club,
Yeah.
man. That's what this is.
Yeah, we're all a sucker for those headlines. But 2 politicians in Australia admitted to owning cryptocurrency.
Right.
That's all I know. But the fact that they could just come out and say that and no one knows is it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess with privacy coins on the rise, that's what people are most worried about. Where you won't know anyone's finances. You ideally won't know any of this. So yeah.
Well, didn't they have the whole Bureau of Meteorology? That's a word that I can't say. Meteorology.
Yeah.
Then they have all their servers running mining operations. So there must be a few government agencies that have
In Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there
news a few weeks ago.
was a couple of employees that were doing it. Definitely against the wish of
It
the
wasn't like
company. It wasn't like an organized. By the way, the bureau is going to allocate 10% of its services.
I mean, they must have had some Bitcoin as well.
I think it's funny because I just realized it's a decision that every like IT admin or big system admin would have had to like stop and think, do I want to try and mine lots of money secretly with my occupation? It's kind of funny because think about how many computers are around the fucking world. Like,
yeah,
that's kind
I just don't. It's not really profitable though, right? Unless you're in Iceland or something.
No, but so many places, like I think most offices leave their computers on overnight, or like maybe not most, but at least it was a very common thing maybe years ago.
But don't you need specialized? So, like, obviously, if you use malware and then infect people's computer, then you can use other people's computing power. But if you're going to do it with your own equipment, don't you need specialized hardware
for Bitcoin? Yeah,
for Bitcoin,
but for like
proof of work, lol.
Yeah, no, but there's a whole lot of other coins that don't require specialized mining computers. I mean, yeah, like if those computers are left on overnight, you can always just be like, all right, I'm gonna quickly install this miner and have it running from I don't know, 6 p.m. till 4 or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm trying to put ideas in people's minds. If you're listening, if you're hating your job, you're just in charge of a bunch of computers, no way to make money, I've got an idea for you. That's all.
Just don't be working for the government.
Jess, did you want to leave your contact details?
What's next on the news?
All right, cool. Oh, before we move on, even though I would strongly advise not to invest in this Pablo Escobar's DietBitcoin.
What?
I should give you.
That's not what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
In the interest of being fair and balanced, I should give Pablo Escobar's advice too, which is invest all you can afford.
That was his advice?
Yeah, that was his advice on DietBitcoin.
Pablo Escobar.
Oh, sorry. Pablo Escobar's brother, Roberto.
Okay, I was going to say.
Pablo Escobar's dead.
Yeah. Maybe that's
the big reveal.
Message from beyond the grave.
Yeah. That's crazy. But see, do you reckon he's just really dumb, or do you reckon everyone else is really dumb and he's real smart for capitalizing on that? Like, do you reckon it'll be successful, or do you reckon it won't be?
I reckon it'll probably make money.
Yeah, DietBitcoin. Why is it not like successful as a real coin, but as a scam?
Right. Yeah, I reckon there's enough dumbasses.
I hope that the dumbasses have been burnt by all the other fuck-ups in the past.
That's the thing. It's been going for so long. You've probably already been burnt so many times.
Dumbass is a dumbass.
He's obviously been looking at the success of diet soft drinks. And all I do now is drink Pepsi Max. So I think it'll be a success.
I don't know.
I mean, Diet Coke works because it's like a product that you consume.
And then you can,
but a currency.
Version. That's why it seems like such a parody. It seems like such a almost too stupid to be like. It's kind of like it over like loops the other way, and it's so stupid that I kind of feel like there's something genius about this. I don't know what, but I don't get it.
Are you going to launch vanilla Bitcoin?
Oh, dude, that's a great. Don't say it on the podcast. No. I want to do Bitcoin Cherry. I think that's where it is.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Obviously, he just thought that Bitcoin looked fat. Like it's like, man, look at all this. Is excess? It needs to lose some weight.
Excess code.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on. Does the name Craig Wright mean anything to you?
Invented the airplane in 1901.
Correct.
Next question. No, the BitConnect scam guy.
No, the Australian dude.
Sorry,
that claims that he's Satoshi Nakamoto.
That's right. Wasn't it with the Craig something else? I don't know.
So he referred to Satoshi in third person on Twitter. So he was like, "Oh, Satoshi didn't likes cloud servers or something," and everyone's like, "Weren't you claiming to be Satoshi?"
And he deleted his tweet. I take it.
He just typed and just sent that.
We need a blockchain Twitter, so everything is immutable.
Dude, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Well, just all his tweets from then on are like, Craig did this today. Craig did that. To make up for it.
Yeah, I'm interested in the context. I feel like the context is what would, to me, make it like make or break. Because I feel like there could be context
I can look it up.
Because like I can imagine if you're arguing with someone who you know doesn't believe you, you're just saying, well, whoever you believe it, we know that Satoshi did this. And so it could have been in that context where he's kind of just, not trying to convince. He's trying to say, regardless of what you believe in this case, no assumptions, this is still a fact. Or he slipped up.
I mean, if he was... Wait, sorry, he's claiming to be Satoshi, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think nobody believes him.
Yeah. But if you were Satoshi and it was what was the term you used before? Pseudonym?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like you would never say... You would always say Satoshi, right, out of habit.
Well,
Would you not?
no, but I mean, it's a small pseudonym. Like he still has his life. He still, I feel like if you called out Satoshi, he wouldn't be like, yeah. Like it's like an online pseudonym. Like, yeah.
No, decent point.
There'd be a great way to catch him. Like, oh, it's Satoshi. Yeah. Fuck. You got me. No, but I don't know. I feel like. Also, you said no one believed that it was him. Isn't he one of the main suspects, or am I thinking of someone else? It's for being Nakamoto. Isn't he one of the main people that people suspect?
Are you thinking of that coder in the US? Is it Hank? I don't know if it's Hank.
Well, he's Australian, right? Is he Australian?
This guy is Australian.
Yeah, the Australian
I think
guy.
I know who you're talking about, and he died, right?
Yeah. He is the main candidate.
I feel like that's who I'm thinking is the most likely.
Died.
Oh, okay.
Who's this?
Yeah.
I've not heard this.
Just some computer programmer that lives in.
Yeah, I can't remember his full name, unfortunately.
I thought, I don't know.
He was definitely there early days, but I'm not sure if
but
he was the
he
number
received the first Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi. And he
one.
also...
From the Tosh.
Yeah, from the Tosh. And he conveniently lived near someone called Satoshi Nakamoto, who the media hunted down and, interrogated. And he was just like, I've never heard of Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
It's possible this guy, I think his name was Hank. Anyway, I'm just going to call him Hank. It's a nice name. I think he adopted Satoshi's name because he was a neighbor.
How did he die?
Suspiciously
Suspiciously poisoned. Yeah.
That's the greatest conspiracy of all. How did he die?
Okay, this is at least a 3-part episode worth. So we got to save this and investigate this further.
What do you reckon, like, if Satoshi Nakamoto was still alive, what can we do as like a crypto community to incentivize him coming out?
Why? But what incentive is there for him to come out?
Well, no, I'm saying like these like hot crypto community girls can be like, oh, well, fuck you, or like, whenever you want,
I'm
like
not saying
what can we as a community?
Be the thing, not the millions of dollars.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's just a real lonely virgin. That's all he needs.
But like, what can we like?
He's just an incel.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, mate, like we want to praise him. Like, I don't know. What can we do to incentivize him to come out?
No, but my question to you is, why do you want him to come out? Just feel like, oh, cool, guys, this is what he looks like.
Yeah. Aren't you curious?
Okay.
But then what if that's his safety's in danger and all this stuff? Like if he wants to be,
Well, that's stuff that we can add, like, we will protect you.
Yeah, but he probably doesn't want like a life of like everyone protecting him. Like he probably just wants to live a normal life.
Yeah, I know. Probably. I mean, almost definitely, right? But like,
So then stop trying to fuck Satoshi Nakamoto.
no, but like, what can we do to say like to make it better for him, for his life to be better if he does come out?
Give him an invite to the show.
Is that a hypothetical?
Yeah.
Well, he's already presumably got tons of money. So
Right.
That's not,
So money's not it.
just a lot of warm make compliments. We should start SatoshiCompliments.com and we'll say, Satoshi, you have a nice smile. And then if we do enough, maybe he'll be like, oh, you guys are so nice, I'll come out.
That'd work on me.
Yeah.
Wasn't the reason he used a pseudonym because he was kind of scared at the fact that like governments and banks would be against it? Like it'd be more of a security reason as opposed to anything else, I imagine, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. There's definitely reasons why he's chosen to not come out. But then, if there's good enough reasons to come out,
Dude, why?
we can outweigh it.
Okay, now I feel like Joe might be
Dude.
Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't know.
Are you guys not curious at who this guy is?
Oh, definitely. But I
Yeah.
think it's part of the philosophy of a decentralized currency as well. Like he must
Right.
have known when he had the old idea of Bitcoin to create it with an anonymous like creator.
Yeah.
So I would also add that if we did find out who Satoshi was, I think that'd be terrible for Bitcoin. And I think that if any amount of Bitcoins were moved out of his wallet, his cold storage wallet, that could single-handedly destroy the entire cryptocurrency market as we know it. He has something like what, like not 1 million, 100,000 Bitcoin or something more maybe
I don't know.
in his cold storage wallet.
Does he?
And yeah. And people just like, they think that it's like he's dead, obviously, and it hasn't moved since like 2011. But you can check it out We'll post the link to in the comments section below this video, guys.
Like, this guy's doing a great job hosting.
Next week it would just be Nathan and none of us.
Yeah. And better probably.
There should be like fan fiction of Satoshi's life, I reckon.
There probably is.
I mean, Roberto Escobar's got it started with the CIA operative.
But it's not very believable to me that he would hang out with people like Roberto Escobar. That seems like not very...
Yeah.
I'm just going to design this like code on my computer and then go hang out with some drug lords and shit.
Right.
Like,
So what else do you do with money though?
Oh, that's true.
Cocaine.
That's true. That's why it doesn't
Actually, a
program
match made in
anymore.
heaven. Oh, holy shit, it is legit. All right.
Bye.
All right, let's talk Litecoin. So Litepay has split with Litecoin. So the Litepay CEO, Kenneth Agari,
I think that's it.
okay, is going to sell Litepay to somebody, hopefully if you can sell it. So the cracks had been forming between Litepay and Litecoin for a while. So Litecoin funds Litepay, and they were getting annoyed because the Litepay people weren't transparent about where the money was going. And Litepay was also asking for more money, and then Litecoin was sort of saying, you got to tell us where you're spending it before we give you more and more money.
Mm.
And obviously the Litepay didn't roll out as it was supposed to. They had some issues, and now they're just completely splitting up.
You know what I think about this, Joe? I think this could be a factor in making the market go down over the last 24 or so hours.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
The reveal. I thought you reckon.
Well, you say that, except Litecoin hasn't gone down like more than other stuff.
That's actually real funny
But
to me.
I think the reason why that is because the Litepay issues has already dropped Litecoin's market down. People were like kind of giving up on Litepay a little bit,
Right,
I think,
yeah.
because those cracks were forming.
Well, that's why I think that would be a reason why it might affect other groups more than Lite. Because if you know about all this already,
Right.
it's not a huge news. But if you just randomly hear, oh no, this thing that I thought was really big is now crumbling, then that could be like a market shaker.
I don't know. After the whole Mt. Gox thing, I feel like it's always just whales. Whales is the answer to like every
It's just-
job.
It seems to be the go-to Reddit answer, at least.
Yeah.
I think it always, like whenever you lose money, it's like, fucking, if the whales hadn't sold and bought at that time, I would have made so much money. Like I knew what I was doing.
I think a lot of people just need to come to the realization that more people are selling than they are buying.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether that be traders, holders, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's the always the strange shapes in the graph that generate the conspiracies. Like if there's a rapid drop,
Yeah.
everyone's like, that's aliens, definitely.
You've seen it today, right? You've seen the front page, right?
What happened?
Oh, it was a $500 spike and then it went flatline.
Oh, I did see that.
$500 drop.
And then someone's like, this can't be real. This can't be legitimate. It's like, but it could be. It could go up
Right.
$500, stay flat for a bit, and go down $500. That's something that
it can't be because my investment depends on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the typical tabletop mountain formation. on that.
yeah. $1 million end of day.
Do you guys actually, explore technical analysis at all?
If by explore you mean laugh at,
Yeah. Okay. That counts. I do that too.
I have looked into it a little bit, but at no point was I like, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked
think-
into it just because it was so... It was everywhere.
Notable.
Like in terms of, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just...
Well, I think people take it like really far, but the support and resistance levels seem to have some credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it might be because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, if everyone's looking at the same level and they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
it's going to go up here.
Exactly.
It's definitely going to go up here because previously it went up there. Then everyone will be like buying at that point, and then it'll just,
Go
create
up.
another
Yeah.
line of stagnation.
I mean, that's based on like a lot of truth. Like if you think about it, if there's like a huge buy wall at let's say $6,000 in a currency, and the price keeps going like up to 6,500, down to 6,000, but it doesn't go below it because it's a huge buy wall, and then up to 200, 600 comes back down that wall. That creates a line on the graph because it's never dipping below that point, and it's like not just like a random line. You can clearly see like why it hasn't gone below that. So I feel
Right.
like I completely agree with like support and resistance in that concept. Where if you've got a lot of people buying at a certain point, that's the support, but I think a lot of the weird, double, triple helix.
Things like getting real technical, like Bollinger Bands and all that sort of
I
thing.
don't know what all this means, but
Yeah, neither do I. Like,
That's
that's the
a term
thing,
we
I
use a
see-
lot on this podcast.
yeah, Bollinger Bands. Yeah, you missed last week was the really technical thing. Now we're just taking it easy.
Whoops.
We're pretending to not know about anything what you're talking about.
I honestly don't know what a Bollinger Band is. It just has a cool name.
Well, I mean, there's ones that are kind of I can't even say they're legit, but they mean something. Like MACD and like
Oh yeah,
RSI.
no, I know this one. Moving
Hungry
average.
J. MacD and Hungry Joe.
God damn it. We have American listeners who want to hear Burger K instead of Hungry J. They don't get Hungry J. Yeah.
I think it's a moving average.
Yeah.
It's the like cumulative distribution.
And
Don't ask me, I don't do maths.
And yes, you do. And the one that's like oversold, overbought, RSI, where it's again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although, like in one way, it's useful because you can see like the theory behind it, and the other way, it's really bad because it's the amount that it seems legit is way higher than the amount it actually is legit. Like if you take it as the 30% legit as it is, then it's useful.
Yeah.
But it appears like it's actually a number and it means something, which is like we're used to numbers being really solid and legit. It's really misleading to a lot of people, unfortunately.
But again, like that self-fulfilling prophecy argument, like what they were talking about the moving average, the 50-day moving average was going to move below the 200 moving day average.
Yeah.
And that hadn't happened since like, I don't know, 2014 or 2015, I think.
Yeah.
And if you get enough people watching that line, then something's going to happen at that point. Surely,
Yeah.
like that, because everyone believes it to be so they'll all make an action or a decision at that point, and the price is going to spike.
Although that's the same theory, you could say the same thing about if you market Bitcoin successfully to everyone, then it'll just keep going up. But like, I think the reason
I guess that's the simplified version of it.
But well, no, it's a different factor. You could say like if the reason that's not true is because realistically it hasn't been marketed successfully to everyone. The same thing with this, where I think you can say to everyone, but you really need to convince a lot of people for it to be true. And I don't think these numbers really reach those huge convincing amounts to be
You don't think there's enough traders or?
Oh no, I think like actually maybe, I don't know. I guess I can't really say.
I think in the current market, there would be more traders than there would be people just buying. Well,
I don't know. I think
I don't know if I fully believe what I just said, everyone.
Yeah, you've also got to remember that like this is one of the most like newbie open markets that have ever existed. Like nearly in like since the beginning of time, but since like stock investment and stuff, it's been very exclusive. You have to have a stockbroker or whatever. You have to like pay fees.
Yeah.
This is like the most accessible investing's ever been. So I would not be surprised to find out a lot of people just buying randomly and selling randomly.
Since people were trading wool for bars of gold.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, you need at least 7 wool.
I got some of the same thing.
What are you, bales of wool?
Balls of wool?
Bushels.
Cotton bushel. Okay, we get it. You play Catan.
Catan. I think over the last 6 months or so, like one of the biggest like just mind fuck I've had from being into crypto and all of this is just how much markets in general are just psychology, just the way humans' brains work as opposed to actual any
value.
Yeah,
underlying
exactly.
value. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I find that you can see similar patterns if you look at the Reddit comments, just how quickly like the sentiment changes. People, it's astounding. I can look at whatever's the top upvoted comment on a particular thread and be like, in 1 month's time, that's going to be completely different. And all it takes is a single swing in the market.
Yeah.
And all the bulls come out and it's just like, release the herd.
It's very true. Yeah. It's 100% true. I guess that's why there's so many ICOs, because I think all we need is like, a few initial investors and then we can just, moon.
Yeah. I am one of those.
You're an ICO?
I'm an ICO.
Where can I buy you?
Yeah.
What discount?
Well, that's what I'm here right now, baby. I know I bought into an ICO. I probably shouldn't have. Yeah.
Oh,
can we hear that story?
We asked that question and none of us had any experience with it. We have to ask.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, before you do, can I just point out, this is like, we're like a bunch of 15-year-old boys and you're like our 22-year-old brother's friend who's like totally seen boobs before. And we're like, what was it like, dude?
What does it feel like?
Yeah. With us like
amazing.
sand.
No, it was probably a really bad decision because my reasons for buying it were only because, well, there were 2 reasons and they were both bad. One was we're in a bull market, if that's even a reason. And I hoped it would continue by the time it hit an exchange. And the second reason was because a huge YouTube name that I was watching, and I knew he had like a cultish following, had shilled the fuck out of it, so to speak. And it was not available to US investors. So I was like, I'm going to get in on this, chuck like a few $100s, and then maybe I'll make 10x when those US when those US chumps get in. And then this was like late. Actually, it was probably more recent than that, but I'm going to say late January, and then the entire market dipped.
Yeah,
and I was like, I should not have done this. I should have just kept buying the safe coins.
Was it DietBitcoin?
Well,
Confession time, guys.
from the way he said it, I'm pretty sure it was BitConnect. So it was like, there's a big YouTuber that was shilling it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It sounds like BitConnect.
No, it was definitely DietBitcoin. I'm sugar free now.
If by sugar you mean money.
And I do.
Damn.
All right, the last piece of news I got is China filed for the most blockchain patents in 2017.
Blockchain patents. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could patent that stuff. There's a lot of tech you just can't patent.
I didn't know Australians said patent, not patent.
I don't know how to say the word. Did you say patent?
I said patent.
Oh, then I guess I just copied you. Oh no, I think I would say patent or patent. Now I don't know. If you have a pronunciation of patent, email us in at patent@coinstreettimes.
Anyway, I don't have the
Like to get
patents for
bogged down on the
this
important
conversation.
Yeah. Not
um,
authorized.
which
It's interesting.
it's kind of surprising, I guess, because I guess it's not in a way, but also because the Chinese government has been so against ICOs and stuff.
Yeah, although if you look at China as just like a tech incubator, and just
Right.
that it's also not surprising in that sense because they just if there's an invention or like a tech item that you want, it's been made in China before anywhere else.
Right.
Like they have everything. It's crazy. Like I get Facebook ads for this website that you guys will know the name of, but I've forgotten. Where it's basically just like you can swipe across and there's like the most ridiculous tech items. Maybe you guys don't get
I know this. Wish.
Wish. Yeah, Wish.
Yeah.
And it's just like things that I never thought would exist, but like actually that's kind of
Yeah.
interesting. It's crazy. And there's always 20 of them and they're all
I think there's actually a Facebook page that's like weird items on
From Wish.
Wish adverts or something like that.
that's good.
And
because I
yeah,
have
it's a great Facebook. I need to like it still.
I have a lot of submissions.
What kind of stuff then?
I
have
can't- I
no
wish I
idea what you're talking about.
It was so unique and novel that I don't remember them.
Yeah.
I want to say like a toaster taped to like a dishwasher. Just things I don't know, just like things you'd never think of, but then they somehow made them useful. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely strange. I think like 50% of the time you'll look at an image and be like, I honestly have no idea what that's used for.
Yeah, and you
or
click,
in what context.
and you click it and it's like, oh, it's a drone, but also a doorstop that like lights up. It's like shit like that you just kind of understand.
but it's so cheap, so I have to get it.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised they've also done the same thing with crypto where it's like a blockchain, but also a toaster. And they've like also got that one with a washing machine. They've just got every single
Well,
blockchain to toasters.
what you might find surprising is US is number 2, which is not surprising. But guess who's number 3 on the list?
Estonia.
Australia.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is surprising.
Well.
You guys found about my patents.
Yeah. So we beat Japan and South Korea.
That is very surprising.
And we drink out of shoes. So
No, I guess I can kind of understand it in the sense that we are like generally like the developedness of Australia is very in line with wanting to investigate crypto. I could see that. But that's the only connection I can draw. Other than that, it doesn't make sense really to me.
I think a lot of investors are actually Australians.
Right.
Like a large proportion.
Can I just say, I saw that Joe was going to say, but hang on, these other countries are just as developed, and I have no response to that.
yeah, I was going to say, but like,
That's why I conveniently interrupted.
yeah,
thank you. For saving
I brought up Japan. I feel like Japan and South Korea would have kicked our asses for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know, actually, now that I think about it. They're also very
Firstly,
tech-heavy.
yeah, they're massively more tech-heavy and they have bigger populations.
Do you reckon it's just one? Oh, you know what? No, it's Satoshi, guys. He's definitely Australian. It's probably Craig Wright. This is case shut.
Do you think those countries have more room for illicit activities though? And that might cause them to have more hesitation than Australia?
Yeah, maybe. But I guess
would
that's
that-
why China was so surprising.
Yeah, why would that reduce the amount of patents?
Yeah, now that I think about it, why does China don't give a fuck about patents at all? Like they just
Oh,
nick
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like why are they got so many patents?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of
Maybe they do.
weird.
Maybe they do care about patents.
It's a bit like that.
They just
They
never
know
get-
that we do.
They just never
So-
got there first. I think
is it the Russell Peters bit that is like Indians are so shy when people talk about sex and stuff, but like there's like 1.7 billion people in the country or something. Like somebody's fucking around here. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
someone's having sex.
Yeah. It's the same with China
Yeah.
and patents.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
Cool. That's all the news I've got.
That's very interesting. Very,
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
I should say the numbers. So China's 225 patents, US 91 and Australia 13. So there is a big
Oh,
drop.
so there is a big
Okay.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Trying to make it sound cool.
and then
on
like
12.
Japan's 12.9, so South Korea 12.9.
Yeah.
Super misleading.
Right, well, in that case.
So is that all the news?
From me,
So,
yes.
Cool.
Let me just open up the hoard of letters
Nice.
in the letterbox. I'll start off here with a letter we have this week from Blake.
A letter? And you digitize it? I see you're reading it off a digital device. Did you scan it in?
Oh, I scanned it in.
Oh, yeah, that's very professional.
He sent his passport photo and a letter
Wow.
and his patent for Bitcoin Max. So this is from Blake from the eastern shoreline of Lake Chad. Hey guys, with the recent news of Coinbase looking to support ERC20 tokens, which of these tokens do you see being most positively affected by this? Any?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a thanks guys love the show. This guy sounds like a major dick.
Yeah.
How dare he? Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's so many, nearly, I want to say all the coins, but so many coins that ERC20 tokens.
Would it be like the lesser known ones? Because they can get a bit of a platform.
Well, I would think it'd be the opposite. I think it'd be the biggest.
Yeah.
Coinbase are known to put in big coins, right?
At the end of the day, Coinbase will want to maximize the amount of fees they can get from people buying coins. So they'll go for the big ones, the well-known ones, I imagine. Yeah, but it certainly will be interesting. I think it's going to drive up speculation, which is, one of the few things that cryptocurrencies have going for them at the moment.
Yeah.
Speculation.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess that means that maybe we should be looking at like the 24-hour volume for some coins. Like, because I guess at the moment, like market cap is how it's ranked on CoinMarketCap, but there might be coins that have relatively low market caps but quite high trading volumes that might be very appealing for Coinbase, like you were saying, because of the fees.
Yeah.
So,
do you think, are you suggesting, you reckon there's going to be insider trading happening? Like looking at the 24-hour volumes before any announcements are made, or?
Oh, well, I mean, it'd be very impressive if anyone could. I just mean in general, thinking, well, this coin on average has like a higher 24-hour trading volume.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I see what you mean now, saying that like if it spikes beforehand, that might be a bit risky. I think they fluctuate a lot, but there are some coins like Tron and VeChain. I guess the Chinese coins particularly. Wait, Tron's Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have quite high volumes for like, I guess how well known they are in the general crypto spheres that I am part of. So I can imagine that they might be picks if they're allowed. I don't know if there's regulations with putting it. I guess that they'd be more than happy to be on Coinbase.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know.
Not only is Tron Chinese, they also released like a community guideline, I think yesterday, and it was in very broken English.
Okay.
And Reddit was taking the piss out of them.
Nice. So yeah. But I feel like those coins have quite. Also EOS has quite high volume, but they have their own weird network. I think. I don't think they're ERC20 token.
Do you think it'll be positive for Ethereum itself?
Oh, yeah.
I really think, I've always thought that Ethereum is kind of like, not undervalued. Well, I guess everything's undervalued in some sense, but like it's understable. Like it's, it really is under so much. It's holding up. If Bitcoin went down, it'd be huge. But I think if Ethereum went down, like everything would cease to operate because you literally need the Ethereum network to host every ERC20 coin, like every digital app on the Ethereum network, like every ICO that's launched. It's, kind of crazy to think about in that sense.
Wouldn't this ERC news come out? Because do you reckon it's in response to the whole Binance taking USD? And Coinbase is like, oh, geez, we're going to get some more pairings going with our USD.
Interesting.
Otherwise, everyone's going to go to Binance.
Interesting. I think if nothing happens, if they like say this and then they like don't really add anything for a while, then I think I'd believe that a lot. But if they actually start getting going, then I'm not, I don't know at this point.
That was a graph I saw of Coinbase users this year and it tapers off like quite significantly.
I'm sure Binance is doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say Binance or Coinbase?
No, you said Coinbase, but you're saying that
I'm
Binance.
saying Binance do the opposite.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I don't know if it's still the case, but I know for a long time they like closed registrations except for like one random hour in the day that you could sign up. Like this is Binance because they were getting so many signups they couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. It was ridiculous. Wasn't it like 500,000 users?
Something insane per day.
Maybe.
Something.
I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass.
I don't know. It's also wouldn't be that surprising. It's crazy they can manage. Like,
there's a lot of people in the world.
but can you imagine having a business being like,
facts,
guys, stop buying our products so much. We need time to like,
Yeah, but they handled it really well, and they've handled like most things really well.
Yeah, they're the golden child of crypto at the moment.
Yeah. One thing I did want to discuss on this topic is, what do you guys think is going to happen to Bitcoin? Because it's currently holding up a lot of the market. And with the introduction of these two fiat to altcoin pairings, do you think that this is going to be bad for Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to end up, at the end of the year, maybe even look at triple figures? That would be a real doomsday scenario.
I'd be real surprised if it did, but
So would I.
I think if it was happening, it would be because everything flooded first into something like Ethereum. But not that I believe that's likely, but I guess that's what they call the flippening, where basically another coin becomes the main coin. I really don't think it's likely, but
Imagine buying it at 20K and at the end of the year it was in 3 figures.
yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, but I have struggled to believe. I believe that all of crypto could go down there. I believe all of crypto could keep going down tons and keep going up tons. I believe in the volatility, but just to think that Bitcoin itself will go super, super low, because that would be really, really low for it to go.
Yeah.
To drop to a 20th of what it once was is a really big crash. For it to do that and for crypto to not be affected much, it would be very surprising to me.
And I think you have to understand that from the public standpoint, cryptocurrency as a whole is not to be trusted for people that haven't got into it, right? But if they are going to get into a coin, they're going to get into the most trusted one, which is Bitcoin. Yeah. So I can't see its dominance really dying out completely. It will always have a place. I imagine, unless we're talking like I don't know, eons in the future.
Exactly. I agree with you. What do you guys think?
But then if the flipping did happen, say this year, wouldn't new people from that point forward be
in Ethereum,
looking at Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin?
Well, I guess it's the process happening that's the hard bit to swallow. After that, then of course it'd be a runaway train. But I guess it's like that big swap in public opinion, which would be like a real shift. Because imagine all have to teach everyone's grandma the concept of Ethereum. They've heard of a Bitcoin now. Now they have to hear of an Ethereum. Like
I feel like the jump from 0 to Bitcoin is a lot harder than Bitcoin to Ethereum.
It is, but I think it's smaller, but smaller than a marathon. It's still quite big.
I'd almost argue it isn't. Like, at least with Bitcoin, you can say it's a digital currency. But like when you try to explain Ethereum and the concept of a smart contract, even after understanding not the underlying technology for Bitcoin, but just how Bitcoin works and how we can transact value over the internet, understanding what Ethereum does is another step up.
Yeah,
and whether or not it's bigger than the step from 0 to Bitcoin is again up for contention. But
I don't know, these grandmas, man, they like
they're smart these days, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They're really good with technology. Next question. No, I was kidding. I was just trying to hide my.
Did we answer the question? I think we did.
To a degree.
Did we give any real picks?
Oh, he wants to know. Just buy OMG. That's just do that for no reason.
Are they in ERC20? They're not in ERC20.
I own them, so buy them.
They're not in ERC20 though, right?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are.
Oh, they are? Oh, okay. Okay, well, there you go.
I also own them, so buy them.
I support my friends, so buy them.
We're totally objective on this podcast.
I roll my day ones.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go, Blake. Our next question comes from Petunia, from Pretonia. That's not a word. Pretoria. What's up, guys? Love the show.
Do this in your South African accent.
No, bro.
I know you want to do it. Come on.
What's up, guys? In the wake of the Facebook and Cambridge Analytica shitstorm, I've heard a few social media experts say that blockchain and distributed ledger technology is the answer to the problem of social media, in particular the ownership of one's data. Do any of you agree with this? And if so, are there any projects that you like in the space?
That was great.
To any South Africans.
That was great, but I was too busy evaluating your accent. I didn't actually understand anything.
Having the Facebook Cambridge Analytics shitstorm happen in the last week or so, a few big names in like social media watchers and people who invest in that space have said that distributed ledger technology is the way forward with social media and in particular like data ownership. So do you think that's a way forward for those platforms? And if so, are there any out there that you guys like?
That's interesting. If I'm understanding the question correctly, my answer would directly be no, because everyone owns all the data on a blockchain. I guess you can have like some privacy stuff, but in general, like it would be more public than ever. I guess it would just not be a small group holding it. It would just be everyone holding your data, I guess.
Wouldn't there be an aspect of, well, there's Steemit, right? That's a social media platform.
Right.
That uses blockchain. I've never used it, so I don't know exactly how it
works.
It's
kind of like Reddit, right? But you can kind of
upvote
and people get money for it.
It's monetized, yeah.
Yeah.
But I imagine that would be a way in which, because there's like, what's the basic attention tokens, where you own your data in terms of your viewership on ads and whatnot, wouldn't there be a way to do that for, your social media, the way in which you peruse the internet in general?
Yeah. Well, just on basic attention token, I don't know if I can directly answer that question, but have you guys used Brave browser? That basic attention you have?
Yeah.
Because I recently asked my friend who works in cybersecurity, I asked him to check out the Brave browser and whether or not he saw any benefits in it. And he obviously didn't do it because he doesn't take my advice seriously. But he did check out. I did explain the concept to him, like what Brave browser does and how it blocks trackers and ads automatically. How its sort of goal is to retain privacy while you're browsing the internet, because we all know how Google gets like 98% of their revenue through ads. And he said, but why would I want that? Like he just doesn't care that much about privacy.
Right.
So do we know for a fact, like it's obviously an immediate outrage to the Facebook thing, but will people actually care down the line that these centralized companies have all their data? And will they not see it as a convenience? The fact that they own that means that they can make better decisions about you.
Yeah, I think the eventual idea for the Brave browser and the basic attention token is that you'll be able to then sell that data or rent it out for those companies to use.
And you get money for it.
Yeah, you'll get money. You'll get paid, like essentially paid for it, and you'll be able to tell them, I only want these types of ads or that kind of.
So
content.
you own your own data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a cool concept.
But then they can still use it, but it would be on your. You wouldn't just be flooded with any kind of shit, basically.
That is cool. But the way I've kind of always thought about it with, Facebook and everything, all the data mining, is that we're kind of implicitly paying for their free service with our data. Like the reason that their business model works for them and they have to charge money is because they're making lots of money off our data. And you could say, oh, they're making too much. But like, I think if you completely remove that, then you'll just see less free services because there's no incentive to like Google offers so many free, they could offer like 100 gigabytes of, free drive storage and like, Google Photos, like free unlimited uploads if you're on a Pixel and like tons if you're on Android. They're like maps, like think about how many services they offer that 20 years ago, you had to pay a lot of money for the equivalent of that technology. Like, I think, if you were able to completely remove the advertising and personal data aspect of it, while it would be great for a lot of reasons, I think we'd also see the loss of these free services. So that might be an issue too. And I think a lot of people are very happy because they don't really understand any possible ramifications, or they're not worried about it. They're very happy for that trade-off and saying, well, you can know my privacy. I don't care. I'm getting these great free services. So, yeah.
Well, I think the whole Cambridge Analytics thing is them realizing that there are ramifications because it's being used for stuff like manipulating people in elections and whatnot.
Well, I guess it depends. I feel like the broad public doesn't really care at this point.
It's like headline news in most countries.
Yes, but then who has stopped using Facebook? I guess
Facebook has lost a quarter of its user base over the last year.
A quarter?
Oh, over the last year.
I thought it was in response to that one event.
No. The last year, they've lost a quarter of their user base.
If you're just making up facts to win your argument, you've done it. Facebook's shut down.
They've gone back to MySpace.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's heartening.
That's still a lot of...
That's heartening to hear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think... I still think the average person... If I stop someone on the street and said, do you have Facebook? And they're like, yeah. It's like, but did you hear about the data leak? And they're like, yeah. Like, did that make you stop? Did that change your Facebook use? To be like, oh, no. I feel like that would be the conversation I have with most people.
That was essentially my friend's statement. He was like, even though he works in cybersecurity, he didn't really feel like it was that big of a deal.
Because I guess most people are relying on security through obscurity. Like if you're a no one, then your private data is not really worth getting. It's not worth, getting to a point where it really invades your privacy. It's worth putting into a pile, like a mass grave of information, but it's not worth just, However, if you're a celebrity, it's really important, right? Your private data is could be worth,
And we need to keep in mind there would be a massive transition phase if we did do something like that. And we need to think, would the end result be even worth it? We don't know if it would work. As you said before about those big companies having those services, would those services cease to exist?
Yeah.
If there was no, monetary incentive and people working full time, 24 hours a day to keep them going.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And
you can think about it like even just having the internet and logging onto the internet, you're giving the ISP, like the ISP knows a whole lot about what you're doing. And they kind of have to because they're offering the service to you. Yes, you can use a VPN and everything, but the fastest internet you can get is just directly through them. If you use a VPN, it affects your speed a bit. You could use Tor browser or something to hide your identity. Lowers your speed even more. You could, there could be like a blockchain decentralized internet where everything's completely privatized, with crypto algorithms, it'd be super slow, right? So like it comes to the point where like it's how much do you want to trade the convenience for your privacy? And I think a lot of people would choose convenience. That's all I'm saying.
It's almost like the motto of Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin isn't private, it's hard to trace to an individual. So you literally just stated the concept. How much do you want to sacrifice efficiency in transactions for privacy in your transactions?
Yeah, although I think with money, there's always these long-term things like you want. Like I guess it'd be equivalent to like logging on to do your taxes. You do that like once a year. You might want to do that in a private like browser or whatever. You might want to use the decentralized. But checking Facebook, if you like imagine having to open the digital vault and like do all these things just to check Facebook. Like, no one's going to do it. People are still going to just take the highway that's offered for them and not really care about what's being collected when they do it. I feel like that's just like at the moment. I think it's a societal issue as well as a technological issue. So I think that needs to be rectified from both fronts.
Maybe we'll see a massive global event in the future that causes people to really, really care about privacy, and it has a long-lasting effect.
Although I feel like that would be like when it's already too late. If for something to be so shocking, which could very well happen, I think by that point the data's already collected. I guess future generations maybe could be protected. But
Like the fappening, the second coming.
Can we talk about this? This should be headline. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy to think about the fact. Actually, wait. Was that I haven't kept up with this. Was that a joke, the second coming, or was there actually a second one?
Were you picturing coming spelled CUM?
I was.
So was I.
Okay. But that's a good point though. If there's been more than one, it shows that people were like, oh, well, I'm a celebrity and that's really concerning. Anyway, I'm gonna keep sending nudes to my boyfriend. Like and put it on the crowd and not.
I made up the second one.
Oh, okay. But I bet you there'll continue to be leaks. Like, people, it's that thing where you hear about it and maybe for like a week you're like, oh, got to be careful. And then people continue about their lives, not really worrying about privacy too much. So yeah, societal.
Mm-hmm. Convenience wins.
Yeah.
Almost always.
I mean, yeah, super polarizing topic. I know some people that are like so against like fingerprint access to places and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know.
It's kind of like this podcast. Like we collect all of our users' data, like really personal, intimate data. And like they're fine with it. You told them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. You put it in the description?
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that Ollie's job?
Yeah.
Did you tell him about the social security number in the nudes? Okay, don't worry.
No.
All right.
Sharon, we're watching you.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the.
Yeah, let's move on. Oh, is that all the questions?
Yes. If anyone else has any questions, they can send them to questions@coinstraighttimes.com.
Nice. All right.
Nice
Onto the game. So just to get our guest Nathan up to speed, we play a game where we're all given an imaginary $1,000 and we choose how we would invest that in crypto this week. And then at the end of the week, we see how we did. So now we're going to check how we did with last week's guesses. So let's start with Ollie. Ollie last week picked a split of 50% Stellar Lumens and 50% Cardano. And
Cardano didn't do well, as I just found out.
Respectively, they are down 11% and 14% for a total of 12.79%. I cut out some decimals there. So yeah, I think it's about the week. That's kind of what the week's been. Next on to Joe. Went for 100% Dash because he just thought it was a cool coin.
Yes.
And which is fine. And it is down, what is that, an 8 or a 6? 8.63%.
Okay.
So nothing too exciting this week.
I thought it did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for my picks, I picked 50% Zcash and 50% Enigma. Zcash is down 10%, but Enigma is up 21%, baby. That's an average of 5.78% up, and I've won the game.
Enigma was a great pick.
Thank you. And it's so funny.
Anything?
It's I don't even
That's
want
what I asked Chase before the podcast started. I was like, Enigma's up like huge when everything else is down. Like, what happened? And I
was like, I don't even want to look into it because I did the same thing as Joe. I was like, look, if you listen back to last week, I was like, look, I don't think it's going to go up. Like, I just think it's a great project. It won't go up because no one cares about it. But I just think it's a really cool project with great technology. And so they were like, the market was like, fuck you, Chase.
You didn't need to lie. You knew something we didn't. Surely.
Insider trading.
Yeah. No, I think people just listen to the podcast. So we have to start respecting the effects that we have on the market.
Chase, you've obviously got some fans.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, Sharon. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. So generally the way we do it is the winner goes first, which I guess we consider a disadvantage. I don't know if it is a disadvantage, but winner goes first and then around and then we'll get you last and we'll get your picks for this week.
Can I just clarify something quickly? Are we allowed to pick Tether?
Well, last week,
week before,
Ollie picked 100% Tether and he won. So
it's kind of boring. Okay.
No.
I wasn't happy with it.
No. Okay. I will allow it though. So here's the thing. I reckon the only caveat is if someone else before you picks something, you can't pick the exact same thing as them.
Oh, okay.
So you could put 99% Tether, 1% something else. But then that means basically you might as well pick a whole other thing.
But also, please don't pick Tether.
I'll try my hardest.
I mean, just say any other coin.
All right, so
I feel
my
like-
pick's 100% now.
I feel like from next week we should do the winner goes last.
Do you reckon it's an advantage or a disadvantage?
It's an advantage to go first because you don't really pick the same stuff that the person before you go.
But I guess you kind of well, I'm happy to go last this week.
I mean,
I
okay.
all right.
It's not hugely important, is it?
I would rather go. Yeah. All right. I kind of would rather go last, honestly. I want to hear the strategies.
I'll go first
oh.
because you need the disadvantage.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
I'm happy to go first.
All right. Well, Ollie goes first. If you're doing it reverse order, it's Ollie.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ollie.
I thought you said we wanted to go last though.
Huh? Yeah, I do want to go last.
Yeah.
So you're first.
Okay. Well, I see what you guys are saying in regards to your ideas on the whole social media thing that we just talked about. But I think there is going to be some blowback. I don't know if it's going to be in the next week, but I think Steam It is going to be my 50%
Right.
choice.
Wow.
Interesting.
And I'm going to put another 50% in Stellar because
I'll
they had
stand by.
some news with IBM that I didn't fully read, but I saw the headlines and it sounded positive and I like them. So
Nice.
those are my
Cool.
choices.
I like Steam It. That was like the old faithful Steam It.
What was
You
it?
know, like back in the day, Steam It was like a huge coin.
Was it?
Back in the day?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know about Steam It until like last year.
What
Steam It's like a
classifies
really,
as back in the day?
Yeah. How long
you know,
ago?
like 6 weeks ago. You know?
Right.
No, I think like years back, Steam It was like top 20 coin, I think.
Yeah. No,
Like-
I think you're right,
Yeah.
actually. And it just went through a huge lull.
Yeah. Or like a lot of other stuff I think just overtook it as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
But Steam It used to be like one of the bigger ones.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess that's me next then.
Yeah, jump in.
I'll go 50-50 as well. 50% ETH. They're just way down.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just way down. So get in now.
Oversold on the RSI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Moving average crossed over.
And my other 50% is Electronium. And I've known to like Electronium in the past.
Mm.
And I was talking about how there was talks about them going onto KuCoin shares. And they are officially on KuCoin shares, guys.
Right.
And they still dropped after the announcement because it was like right when the whole market just went really bad.
Right.
So they are on KuCoin shares. Go buy them on KuCoin shares. Because Cryptopia is like a super dodgy exchange. And that was the main exchange.
Mm.
So now they're on KuCoin and all the way to the top.
We're also on CoinSpot now, I noticed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And that's the other reason why I picked them.
Yeah. Nice.
is this financial advice, Joe?
It is
Absolutely
financial
financial
advice.
advice. This is legitimate financial advice.
I mean, sorry,
Beautiful.
the financial advice caveat is just like so meaningless.
Exactly.
Because
That's,
it just
that's what I
is
keep saying.
like
It's not,
financial
though.
advice.
Can you imagine being in
Because
court?
you can sue a podcast for the same.
Yeah, but can you imagine them being in court and then being like, play the clip, Your Honor. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fart poopy butthole, buy, VeChain. And they're like, see,
Yeah.
Your Honor. They made
Because
you
if I-
do-
Guy told me to buy it.
if we say, if I say don't buy,
I think that's not the point, though. It's the fact that you can still be taken to court and that's, thousands of dollars worth of legal fees.
No, but if you win, they have to pay you for the distress and everything.
honestly,
They
think
still
that-
don't want to have to go though, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll take you. Take me to court, guys. I'll fucking wreck
Come
you.
at me.
I'll wreck you any day. I'm a great courtsman.
I think like someone just said it in a video, then someone else started saying it, and then that just became a thing.
I think it makes you sound more professional. I think
Right.
It makes
It's not
yeah.
on just crypto things. It's on like all finance-based
yeah.
videos or...
It's got to be
it's
to do
also-
with retention of viewership as well. I think they're like trying to stop their viewers hating them if something goes wrong
Right.
when they
Yeah.
don't add the
Right.
disclaimer.
Yeah. That's a big one. And I think also it's a whole lot like, do not try this at home. Like there are so many YouTube
Yeah.
channels that say
Yeah.
that when you clearly they don't need to say that.
Right.
Like, but just to cover their ass and also just to like, make themselves sound more professional. And
Right.
more, like we're doing something really cool. Watch out. It's going to be really impressive. Don't try it
Yeah.
at home. Even though the chances are they are people at home trying it. Like
Yeah.
they have no qualifications. It's the same thing as that. I feel
Like if we say like don't buy DietBitcoin, we're giving advice about what you do with your money. That is financial advice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That is. I want to say this is not a podcast. So on this week's podcast, we're going to talk about this.
Next week we're all in court with Roberto
Yeah.
Escobar. Like they slandered our coin. Anyway, for my
I don't
picks-
think he settles things in court, mate.
Oh shit.
That's not how they deal with stuff.
Oh no.
Have you looked at DietBitcoin's roadmap?
Yeah. 2019 kill Joe. All right,
Jesus. All right.
go on.
For my picks, I'm gonna pick 100%, and that 100% is going into Neblio. Do you guys know about Neblio?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it?
Right. Me too. Let's see how we go.
I was waiting for the educational part.
No, yeah, no, I don't know that much about it, but I know that it's not doing as well this week as people have been expecting. So I'm just gonna put all my coins in one basket, so to speak, and we'll see how we go.
How fitting near Easter.
Do you know? Do you know like what they do? Or
Not a clue.
okay, great.
Okay. Financial advice, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Nathan, the guest.
So I'm actually going to pick more coins. 3.
Please do.
3.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah.
So the first 25% is going to be allocated to my one and only ARK.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So I really like ARK for no particular reason. I think the main reason
cool.
I like it is same as you. Yeah, it's a cool name, but I don't understand what they're doing. Holy, great guest you've got on, you guys.
Yeah.
No, but like
than the hosts.
they have excellent marketing, and I know they have a French backing as well. Like part of their team is French, like a large proportion. Yeah, I don't think they're based in France, but they have a French team. And as long as they have those French connections, you know, France is going to be like Malta we talked about earlier. They're going to be the blockchain empire. So I think with all these, you know, I hate saying the word, but bullish France news coming out and how they're supporting everything. I actually heard on the train here 2 guys talking about France and the blockchain revolution.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
I
it's
do see a
catching
lot
on,
of French people on like crypto videos. I've noticed.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
I do not. I have not
I
been.
was looking at like some project today, and like the programmers are French. But anyway,
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
YouTube.fr.
Yeah, that's why Joe's been always on the French YouTube, but he bookmarked the wrong one.
Yeah, but I do think their integration between projects and all their updates that they've had, like their wallets, their UIs, all that sort of thing has been really clean, and they've delivered on a lot of their promises. And also the coin is just like pretty stable. I mean, it's dropped obviously heaps in the current like last 3 months of the market, but overall I'm a huge fan, and I see no reason to not pick them for 25.
Awesome.
So the second 25%. I'm going to allocate to Request Network.
Fuck.
Why?
Because after this, I was going to ask if I could change mine to 50%.
Jace
Anyway.
loves West Network.
No, go on.
you go.
But do you know why? Do you have news about it?
Well, you
This
have
is like-
news, don't you?
I feel like that there's like a right answer to that question.
No, because
They also have some
Please say
France
it.
Do you know
based-
why you picked
they
Request
partnered
Network?
with the French, one of the big 4.
Oh, the PwC.
PwC. Yeah.
No, I did read that
The
and I
French-
forgot it. Yeah.
But they're all French.
Yeah, but that was pretty huge. And also people like their mainnet is, it's meant to be coming out in Q1 according to their roadmap.
Right.
And they've confirmed it will come out in Q1.
So how much time do they have?
Yeah, they don't have many days. So
Yeah.
because they release updates every second Friday, that's this Friday. So this could be the classic case of buying the rumor and selling the news. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So when it comes out, the price might drop and this might backfire. But otherwise, I'm happy to put another 25% towards Request just for this Friday.
That sounds smart.
Cool.
Yeah. And the last 50% is going to be for Funfair because I'm a gambling degenerate. I own Funfair because I am a gambling degenerate. But really, I just hope they succeed
Do you guys
So
know
you're
about
taking
Funfair?
a gamble on a gambling coin.
on a gambling coin. Yeah.
I like it. Those are some damn good picks, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
Sweet.
good.
We'll see how it turns out. I don't expect to win, but
So I won't amend mine now because there's already a Request Network in the
Yeah.
mix. But yeah, if you win, I'll be eternally mad at you.
okay.
If it's because of a Request Network.
Do you want to take 25 as well? Or?
I'll just take all your coins if that's no. I'm happy with my pick. It was made with a very sound mind and a lot of deliberation, so I'm very happy with it.
Okay.
That was a joke. I don't know anything about Nebula. All right. If you guys have any coin picks that you would make for this week, let us know at questions at Coin3Times.
We should probably get another one, eh?
Yeah. But look, we know how to use technology. We can multi-purpose. I guess the inbox is getting very full. That is
Yeah,
the issue.
true,
Yeah,
true.
true. We'll make it work. But yeah, I reckon that's it for this week.
Yeah. Nathan, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. You did
Cheers.
an amazing job.
Yeah.
Pleasure to come in. Hope I could come back at some point in the future. We'll see
Friend
how
of the
things
show.
pan out.
Don't overstay your welcome. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
We're gonna let you go.
That's what happens every time.
No.
We should let you get back to your BitConnect work.
Scheming.
Not on air.
Fortune.
Not on air.
Um,
Yeah, cool.
cool.
All right. Good episode this week, boys.
Good stuff. 3, 2, 1 break.
Yeah, all right. Hands in the middle. 3, 2, 1. BitConnect.
All right. So
9/11 was an inside job.
7-Eleven was a part-time job.
Now I have to start again.